What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about this viral news story in regards to a catfishing scandal that has rocked pro sports, the NBA, the NFL. It has been put out here that there's a guy that used adult entertainer Teanna Trump in order to catfish NBA and NFL players. I don't know how this thing, it's still, after looking through everything, is a bit confusing. But for those of you who are going to wonder why is Ray Allen on the cover or the thumbnail of this video, well, he was caught up in a catfishing scandal. It was probably one of the first catfishing scandals that you saw from an athlete, where he was catfished and extorted, like these other professional athletes who are now dealing with this. Now, we don't know who those guys are. We may never know, because this is a federal case, right? So you may never know. They're going to seal up everything probably. But he was a story that this happened in 2017. And he was one of the most recognized faces out there at the time, retired, but he was a victim of catfish and an extortion scheme. And this is not good. Now, people are throwing people's names around, but I want y'all to see the guy that is responsible for this. And apparently, this is the guy that is responsible. His name is Kwame Jarrell Ford. And he's in a lot of trouble. And the thing is that he actually went to prison for something similar to this. But he got out and decided to continue his scamming. And this is why I think there's going to be harsher sentencing of scammers. Because we've seen recent scammers do a couple of years in federal prison and get out. Well, this case might change things to where you're going to see harsher sentencing towards people who scam. Because for this guy to have done time, gotten out, and to do this for years, they're going to make an example out of him. But let's get into this. This is according to Yahoo Sports. The NBA and NFL players are involved in a truly remarkable story after being scammed by a catfish pretending to be a famous actress. The NFL Players Association is now speaking up and making players aware of the shady characters. The nature of the statement from the NFLPA stems from a fraudster targeting many stars and their personal information. The Athletic detailed a shocking account recently regarding various NBA and NFL players being targeted by a man that posed as an OnlyFans creator. Kwame Jarrell Ford allegedly pretended to approach top athletes and gain their trust for the purpose of stealing their personal information. A press release says that Ford posed online as a well-known film star. The alleged actress that Ford impersonated is Teanna Trump. The international soccer star Nicolas Pepe is engaged to the actress. Meanwhile, the alleged fraud continued as he offered to send videos to the athletes. The Department of Justice even claims that Ford may have been able to receive Apple login information from various professional athletes, which is crazy. The DOJ also stated that the 34-year-old scammer received credit and debit card information from dozens of victims. That's crazy. That's insane to think about. The scamming has gone up a notch over the last, I would say, 5 years or so. Since COVID, it has ramped up. That's why you've been seeing so many people going to prison since then. The FBI has advised that Kwame Jarrell Ford, posing as a female film star lured athletes into providing sensitive information, according to NBC Sports. Isn't this why they have the rookie symposiums? Is to make sure that these athletes don't fall into these traps. Now, these athletes are young and they have money and they're going to make stupid choices, but they can't be making stupid choices like this. But this is what thirst does to you. Thirst will make you want a woman that you don't see in front of you, that you will actually think that the girl that you're sleeping with is actually Tiana Trump. Meanwhile, Ford's recent plea hearing in March saw the imposter plead not guilty to 9 different counts of fraud. This is crazy. Let's see what else. Let's go to this article. NFL players have been warned about a disturbing fraud scheme involving a man allegedly posing as a film star to gain access to sensitive information. The situation has escalated to the point to where the NFL Players Association alerted agents, with federal authorities now involved. The FBI has advised that Quamaine Jarrell Ford, posing as a female film star, lured athletes into providing sensitive information. The warning highlights how the scheme relied on deception and manipulation rather than traditional hacking methods. It also shows how high-profile athletes continue to be targeted through increasingly sophisticated social tactics. This individual was supposedly able to access many athletes' iCloud accounts and stole victims' information, including credit cards. Additionally, this individual posing as a film star lured athletes into having relations with an adult female who makes content on OnlyFans, being filmed without their knowledge or consent. There must have been some wild things happening in them videos. I'll just say that. The claim point to both financial and personal privacy violations, significantly raising the stakes of the case. It also underscores the risk tied to digital communication and identity deception. The situation is now being treated as a serious security concern rather than an isolated incident. Let me tell you something. If he's doing this across leagues, it definitely shouldn't be seen as isolated. And he's not the only one. There's others doing it, but it's not as much catfishing as much as these guys are just being finessed, plain old finessed. The NFL Players Association sent out to all certified agents notice of fraud and relations trafficking scheme that targeted NFL and NBA players. Per the notice sent via email on Thursday, the FBI has advised that Quamaine Jarrell Ford, posing as a female, lured athletes into providing sensitive information. This individual was supposedly able to access many athletes' iCloud accounts and stole victim information, including credit cards. Additionally, this individual, posing as a female, lured athletes into having relations with an adult female OnlyFans creator, being filmed without their knowledge or consent. Ford was indicted last week on 9 counts of wire fraud, 7 counts of computer fraud, 1 count of access device fraud, 4 counts of aggravated identity theft, and 1 count of trafficking. Ford allegedly commenced the scheme while serving time for stealing credit card numbers from athletes and celebrities. From the Department of Justice press release, beginning in at least November of 2020, while in Federal Bureau of Prisons custody, Ford allegedly obtained login credentials for Apple accounts belonging to NBA NFL players through a 2-pronged approach. First, Ford allegedly posed online as a well-known film star and offered to send videos to the athletes. At the time, Ford spoofed legitimate Apple customer service accounts by posed as an Apple customer support representative and requested via text messages that the victims send their username, password, and multi-factor authentication codes in order to access the videos that this fraudulent film star persona was purportedly trying to send the victim. So let's just go back. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Let's go back, people. We got some time. We ain't going nowhere. I know you're not going nowhere. At the time, Ford spoofed legitimate Apple customer service accounts. Crazy. Posed as an Apple customer service representative and requested via text messages that the victims send their username, password, and multi-factor authentication codes in order to access the videos that his fraudulent film star persona was purportedly trying to send the victims. This is just this dude. You could tell this dude had, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but he's worked in customer service before. You wouldn't be able to do this unless you've worked in customer support before in some capacity, and you know this process, because this is the first time I've seen it. Now I'm telling you, these scammers have gotten more and more sophisticated, but this is insane. This is insane, family. Through this phishing scheme, dozens of victims were allegedly tricked into providing their login credentials to Ford. After gaining control of the victims' Apple accounts, Ford allegedly obtained credit and debit card information belonging to victims and used that information to pay for thousands of dollars in personal spending. Additionally, in May of 2021, Ford allegedly posed as a film star and recruited, tricked, and coerced a female victim into engaging in commercial acts with professional athletes based on false promises that the film star would advance the victim's modeling career. Ford advertised the victim to the athletes, coordinated the victim's travel to the athletes, and negotiated payments from the athletes for the purpose of purchasing relations with the victim. Ford used additional fraudulent personas to threaten the victim and maintain her continued involvement in commercial relation acts with the athletes. Using false personas, Ford obtained a financial cut from the acts, many of which Ford allegedly coerced the victim into filming without the athlete's knowledge or consent. This is insane information. Oh my God. This he had everything planned out and plotted out. Now, the one thing that really annoys me is they're saying that he coerced a female into doing all of these things. Is it that easy for women to be coerced into traveling to these athletes and doing these things for a modeling gig? Did these women actually think they were speaking to Tiana Trump? That's the crazy thing about this. That's the crazy thing about this. Ford allegedly posed that Tiana Trump and the players who may have been victimized by the scam can provide information to the FBI, which is currently trying to identify the various victims of the scam. The NFLPA certified agents have been sent the link necessary to determine whether the player is indeed a victim. Any player who thinks he may have been targeted by the scam should contact his agent or the NFLPA. There are some that are. There's going to be some that aren't because they're embarrassed. But know this, you were a victim, and this thing happened because of thirst. Thirst is what did this. And this is why it's very important for men to protect themselves at all costs. You are a professional athlete. When you walk outside your door, there's plenty of women who are willing to give you some. You don't have to go to the internet to get it. You can get all types of videos and pictures sent to you. But this scammer, this guy, this jackass right here understood that and was able to use that against you, that you guys are thirsty. This is why you have to protect yourself. Because if you don't protect yourself, you're going to end up getting embarrassed. And the fact that he was able to use Tiana Trump, I don't think she has a big social media presence like that. Like, she's too busy trying to get a ring out of a soccer player. And the thing is that if this is going on, did she not know about it? Why didn't she say anything? She still hasn't said anything. How do we know that she's not in on this? I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying is that she still has yet. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe she has distanced herself from this, which she should, because now she's going to be looked upon with suspicion. So she definitely needs to distance herself publicly if she hasn't already, or she's going to be looked upon as suspiciously. And they're going to say, you know what? We shouldn't deal with women like you. Really shouldn't anyway. I think professional athletes should not have to be trying to wife up IG models, put themselves in a position to get finessed by these women. Just understand that you have celebrity, you have money. You don't have to be thirsting the way that y'all be thirsting on social media. It's absolutely ridiculous. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me throw a like, video, share. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I'll see y'all next.